So this adventure, The Dog Walker, is by Sean Branney. He and Andrew Lehman run the HP Lovecraft Historical Society, and they produced this adventure in conjunction with what's called the Arkham Investigator Wallet. And they make a lot of props for Call of Cthulhu games if you play it in person. And one of the ones that they recently came out with was this wallet. And you can actually buy the physical wallet, and it comes with all the props that look like they are from the 1920s. Really cool thing. And this is the adventure that comes with the wallet. And the idea is that if we were sitting at my home and playing, at some point in the adventure, if you find the wallet, I would set it on the table, and then you guys would all just kind of dig through it and take out the things and say, well, I wonder what this could be. Let's go investigate. And you would get to investigate everything that you find in the wallet as though, we were doing this at home. And I've come up with something pretty clever that we're going to use for this. It's interesting because I came up with this, and not 2 months later, they came out with a special Foundry module for Call of Cthulhu that basically uses this same idea. So it's one of those, synchronicity type things. I used a special tool to make it work. They didn't, but it's the same basic idea as far as how they're doing some of their official modules going forward. But we've got the four of us here to take on the case of the Dog Walker. Let me grab my notes. All right, October 6, 1925. Charlotte Foley, 12 years old, is walking Bigby the Basset Hound to earn some extra money. Really, though, she would love to quit dog walking and become a consulting detective like Sherlock Holmes. Since discovering the works of Arthur Conan Doyle 6 months ago, she has read all the stories and has been craving the opportunity to find a worthwhile case and prove she's got what it takes to be like the great Holmes. In spite of her successes with some minor cases around the house, notably the case of the crumbled cookie and the smudged boot print, her mother naturally fails to appreciate that this is not just a phase or a whim. Charlotte is serious. Well, today Charlotte has headed across the grounds of Christchurch Cemetery, out the back gate, and into the woods along Silver Brook. Dogs like it back there, as there's lots to sniff and explore. When she reaches the far side of Silver Brook, she sees a man, which is unusual, as you normally don't see anyone here. He looks middle-aged, wearing glasses and a suit, kind of like one of those professors from the university. His body starts twitching strangely, like he's having some kind of a fit. Bigby whines in fear and then runs, sprinting further into the woods. Charlotte asks the man if he's okay, but his seizure keeps going. He gasps out, "Help me! No police, no doctor! Must go home. He needs the key." Charlotte runs for help. The rest of you are gathered for a neighborhood meeting at the home of Madge Tomlinson, where you were discussing plans for the annual Halloween party for the Lower South Side neighborhood. Charlotte runs here because it's the residence closest to where this incident took place. She's eager to get back to help this man and to get Bigby. Charlotte, as you burst into the house, what do you say?
I'll kind of just shout out, like there's a man outside and he's not okay. He needs help.
Now, we've got Bertie Babcock and Stuart Knight and Wilbur Naughton here at the party, in addition to Madge. Wilbur, you see young Charlotte run in, and you know her from the neighborhood. What do you think when you hear her say that she's found some man that needs help?
Yeah, I think a lot of people might call her nosy, but I think Wilbur probably knows her as a good lass, inquisitive, bright, and I think he'd take her at her word. He's already getting ready to head out the door.
Yeah, Stuart, what about you? You're a little bit older. You're a retired professor of physics at the university. Um, you were once young, and you know the excitement of youth. What's your response at seeing Charlotte come bursting in and asking for help?
Oh, well, yes. It might be imperative that we see what this young one is worried about.
And Bertie Babcock, our history teacher, a fanatic of all things American history and Americana. This young girl bursts in, and you know that she is very inquisitive, and this is something that you would like to see in your students. But you know that she can be a little bit over exuberant at times. Not that she's the one who would cry wolf, but perhaps it's not a big a deal as she's making it out to be. What would be your response there, Bertie?
I don't know. Kids these days, you got no respect.
They were like that in the 20s, and they're like that now again in the 20s. So, kids haven't changed. However, perhaps you guys decide to humor young Charlotte. So, Charlotte, maybe expound on what happened to you.
Well, I was just outside walking this dog, and
What dog? You have no dog with you.
oh,
What happened
well,
to Bigby?
yeah, well, I was walking this dog for a little extra money, and I saw this man on the path, and he started shaking and having a fit, and the dog ran off, and the man's still out there. He's not okay, and my dog's gone. So I really could use some help here.
Well, this Saturday morning is starting out to be filled with all sorts of adventure for Charlotte. The adults, being kind-hearted and good sports, would likely decide to humor you. Probably more importantly, they want to get this dog back because they know that whoever owns Bigby is going to be a little concerned that our dog walker just let the dog run off.
Let the dog run off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't let the dog run off. It just ran off. Not my fault.
Well, you lead everyone through the cemetery to the path along Silver Brook to where the incident took place, and you discover there is no one there. This place feels a little bit remote, and there's a lot of trees around, and there's no visible structures. Bertie, give me a listen roll, please. Do you want to push that or spend luck?
Is there only so much luck you have?
There is. So this being a one shot, you will only have that one set amount of luck, and then it has run out. Currently, you have 45 points, so it's kind of a use it or lose it for a one shot. That is going to be a lot of points, though. That's going to be 42 points of your luck. So this may not.
I'll
be,
push it.
Yeah.
Is there any negative effects of pushing the roll?
Nope. Well, if you fail the second time, usually there's something negative, like maybe stress or things like that. But in this case, at the start of the adventure, I'm not gonna tighten the screws too hard. So you likely just would not hear this distinct, distant sound.
I'm not seeing a push.
If you click on the 62 on the little chat bar, then it should give you the option to push or spend 42 luck to pass.
There we go.
Hey, there we go. Perfect. So you push and you pass. You hear the distinct barking sound of a dog not too far away. It sounds like it's maybe 40 or 50 yards away in the brush. Now, Charlotte, this is the spot where you saw the man. You're pretty sure this is it, but everything did happen kind of quickly. Where do you lead people?
So he's not still out there?
No, you don't see any sign of this man, but you do hear Bigby. Bertie points out, "Hey, that's the dog over there."
Well, I think I would go get the dog first. I don't want to be seen as irresponsible.
I think that time has already passed.
Oh. Anyway, I guess I'll kind of have a look around to see if, there are signs of where he might have gone or if he's like lying somewhere.
Well, as you begin to head over towards Bigby, let me have Stuart give me a spot hidden roll, if you would, please. Oh, excellent. Stuart, you see the telltale sign of grass that has been matted down, pushed down. It looks like footprints through here. With a regular success, you can tell that there has been something moving through here. If you want to spend 1 point of luck, you can make that. There we go, a hard success. And in doing so, you can see that there's several sets of footprints here. There are some kind of larger, probably man-sized, you would guess, and then some smaller, most likely going to be Charlotte. You can also see ample tracks of Bigby, where he is kind of sniffed through the grass. You can see these tracks leading in a zigzag fashion towards where you can hear the sound, but you don't see anything right here in this immediate area. Other than just
say, Charlotte, did you walk that little hound of yours over this direction?
Well, yes, I think that was the direction that I was walking.
Do you follow those tracks, Stuart?
I suppose I'll follow them for a way.
What's Wilbur doing?
I think he would be, hopefully, unintrusively following Stuart.
Okay.
Just, giving him a shoulder.
As you follow these tracks, you eventually come upon Bigby, and you see him, and he is sniffing around in the brush. It seems as though he's got something kind of cornered there in the brush. He's eyeballing it. He's barking, whimpering just a little bit. In fact, I've got a little token for Bigby. Let me put Bigby out here. There we go. Bigby's kind of snuffing around in the grasses here in the bush. Wilbur, let me have you give me a spot hidden roll. Oh, okay. That's a fumble. So as you walk over and you're kind of walking through the grass, you hear a crunching sound. And you pick up your foot and look down, and you have stepped on a pair of wire-rimmed glasses. The frame is bent, and the glass is cracked and broken.
Oh dear. Wilbur would obviously bend over and tinker with it, see if he could fix it. But more importantly, what are glasses doing out here?
Yeah, and these look to be relatively expensive glasses, and they're not worth much now. But these are not a child's pair of glasses. These are an adult's glasses, and the style looks to be rather masculine. Definitely a man's glasses. Charlotte, do you remember? Did this man have glasses?
Yes, I think so.
Yes, he did. He had glasses. Bigby comes up with something in his mouth, and he trots over to Charlotte and sets it down, and it's kind of this wet, gooey mess, and it's a brown leather billfold. Wallets back in the day were not the little hip wallets that we have now. They were kind of large, almost double the length, kind of a long rectangle, like a checkbook. For those of you that are younger, if you even know what a checkbook is, it was roughly that size, only a little bit thicker and a little bit bigger. There's this man's wallet there, and it's just packed full of stuff. Like I don't know if you know George Costanza. George Costanza wallet, just full of junk. Very thick and full of papers, and this is the briefcase of the time. For someone who didn't want to carry a briefcase, they shoved everything in their billfold. But you have indeed found this rather large wallet, but there is no sign of this man anywhere to be seen. Charlotte, you've got Bigby back. What do you suggest to do with this wallet? This looks to be a mystery,
Yes, it does.
worthy of Sherlock Holmes.
Well, perhaps I'll just have a peek in the wallet before I turn it into the adults.
Well, you look at it, and the first thing you see is there's money in there. There's paper money. You see a $5 bill and a $1 bill. So $6. This is about the same as like $100. You know, this would have been a pretty good find. So you know that this man is going to want this back. But there's also business cards, and there's like a travel guide. There's all sorts of things in there. There's also a picture of a woman with a cat, kind of an older woman. You hand the wallet over to the adults, and you probably spend some time looking through the weeds, but there is no sign of this man here. What we're going to do is we're going to go to the wallet. Now, can you all see that nice little lace doily with all the stuff on it?
Yeah.
Excellent. So these are the contents of the wallet. This would be the same as if you were at my house and I handed you the wallet. You could get everything out and start taking a look at it. So the way this is set up is you are now free to investigate as you would. So if you click on any one of these items, it will pull up the item and you can get kind of a closer look. Some of the things, it'll even show you the back if there's anything written on the back. And you guys can try to unravel this mystery of who this man was and hopefully what happened to him. So I've got some investigating music. Let me turn it on here. And the time is yours. You guys can discuss amongst yourselves as you try and piece some of these clues together. And then if you want to visit any of these places, just let me know and you can go all together, or if you want to split up, however you want to do it. These are the clues.
Well, as any good investigator knows, before one begins investigation, one needs one's drink.
And what is your drink of choice while investigating the contents of this wallet?
I plan to hydrate from my fine flask of liquid here, Charlotte. Don't concern yourself with its contents.
Now, this being 1926, you know that the Volstead Act would be in full effect, meaning prohibition is the law of the land. However, you also would know that while it's the law, it's often openly flaunted, particularly among the wealthy, the elite. No one would really think anything of you having a sip from your flask, although it might be a bit of a shock for young Charlotte. Charlotte, what's your response to seeing this grown-up doing something illegal right in front of you?
Oh, well, as a good law-abiding little girl, I think I would be quite shocked and frankly quite ashamed that this man that I thought to be, responsible and perhaps even a good role model would be doing something like this.
Yeah. Does that bother Stuart at all to see kind of that look of disapproval on Charlotte's face?
Oh, those young ones don't appreciate us at all.
One day they'll be old and they'll understand that many parents need that flask just to deal with their own children, let alone the children of others.
Is this currency supposed to say "In Yog we trust"?
So that is just kind of one of their little Easter eggs they put in there. So this would be the authentic currency of Arkham, and so that wouldn't be anything fishy about that note, other than they just kind of made it fun for people that are playing the game. But yeah, the back of that $5 bill says "In Yog we trust." I think the $1 bill does as well. Mr. Wilbur, is there anything in particular here that has your attention?
Yeah, he's been just like scribbling down a few things in his own little pocket notebook. He does a lot of like um, like weird addresses. I mean, specifically like mundane, chemical supplies, locker rental, and then boom, weird society, and it's quite a lot of stuff to take in.
Yeah, this is not a typical. These are not the typical contents of a wallet. There's kind of some esoteric stuff in here. You probably would not know what the Eye of Amara Society was, but you could always go and either go there. You've got the address on the card and see what it is, or maybe go to the library and see if you can do some research on it.
I will say though that locker rental assignment paper definitely is the thing that's captured his eye. There's a name on there, that's something.
You've got a name and an address on there for the YMCA. Now, you would know, in fact, everyone but probably Charlotte wouldn't know, the YMCA is basically a men's athletic center. And so Charlotte, being a female, would have a difficult time getting in there. Not to say you couldn't wear a disguise.
We also have a name and an address on a library card.
Yes, for the Miskatonic, the Orm Library. Also, looks like Gilbert Trask is
Yep,
the name
same
on
name.
there.
There's probably a personal address. Nice.
Would I
Walter,
know this Mr. Gilbert?
Sorry, what about Gilbert?
Well, I believe I worked at the Miskatonic University. Would I know Mr. Gilbert here? Would I be familiar with that name?
Give me an intelligence roll. The name is not familiar to you, but you do recognize this as a pass for the Miskatonic Library. Someone with this could go into their general area and look at any of the books there. They'd be able to check out books. This is not a pass that would allow access to the restricted section. You know that is kept under lock and key. In fact, Dr. Henry Armitage is responsible for curating that restricted section. And you know that this card would not allow someone into that area. But you could find out what books this Mr. Trask has been looking at. There's this weird Eye of Amara thing on here. Who knows what that's all about? Charlotte looks like she's looking at the something got pawned to the Diamond Credit Agency. It's like a gold pocket watch engraved with strange symbols. You could always go to the pawn shop.
Got a stub for some pictures that we can go grab at Walter's Optics Flash.
Yeah, this is the claim stub. Presenting this, you'd be able to get access to the photos.
As well as he had a psychiatrist that we could interview.
Well, would you like to all go together to these various places, or would you kind of split up and maybe meet up at the end of the day and consult with one another? What do you think that is, Stuart?
Well, it appears to be a locker combination.
I see left 10, right 24. Was that left 72?
Could very well be the man's locker at the YMCA. Perhaps there'd be more material that we could identify him with there.
Yeah, he does have a locker rental assignment form, so I think that's definitely a place you could go and look.
Yeah, I forgot about those old types of locks.
Yep.
Combo locks.
Yeah, they're the worst.
Especially when you get most of it entered in, then you go too far. You got to spin it a couple times and do it again.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Well, let's start with Stuart. Stuart, do you want to call any of these places? Go visit any of these places?
Well, if I could, I might like to call whoever the curator was at the library, and perhaps he'd remember old Stewart, and I could ask him about this Gilbert Trask, and see if he's issued any passes to him.
Yeah, you could actually absolutely do that. You place a call into the library, and you're using the phone here at Madge's house, and she wouldn't mind. This sounds like an emergency. You know that the librarian at the front desk is Mrs. Henrietta Cole. She's the senior reference librarian. She answers the phone, and there's a little bit of small talk. You know Henrietta quite well. And she asks how she can help you.
I was hoping you could tell me if Mr. Gilbert Trask has, a fellow by the name of Gilbert Trask, has been issued a pass to the library lately. I'm investigating a matter, and if you could provide me information on him, it'd be most welcome.
Oh, Gilbert, sure. I know him. He's been coming around for about the past year or so. He keeps to himself a lot. He spends a lot of time in the classics section of the library. That guy's a voracious reader. Let me tell you, he reads text faster than anyone I've ever seen. Books on Roman history, the occult. Let me pull up his records. You hear her moving through some file cards, which is how they did things back in the day. It wasn't computers. And oh yeah, he applied for access to the rare book room, but Dr. Armitage told him no. I remember the day he was told though. He was quite upset, and he just kind of shook for a minute, and then he left, and we've not seen him since.
Shook, you say? Perhaps like how would you describe it?
Well, like he just had a tremor all over his whole body. He just kind of started shaking, like electricity was going through this man. Strangest thing. I asked him if he was all right or if he needed a drink of water to sit down, but he gave me this look that like he didn't understand what I was saying, and then he kind of nodded towards me and put his hat back on, and off he went. Not even a goodbye.
Well, yes, very strange indeed, this Mr. Trask. Anything else you can tell me about the fellow, or just that?
Well, you could probably talk to Dr. Armitage. I could patch you through to him if you like.
Oh, that should be most helpful.
You know Henry Armitage. I'm going to post a picture here for us. You've had dealings with him in the past. He's a Miskatonic legend, a man whose profound erudition has led him to be immersed in many of the university's most notorious events. He's got world-weary blue eyes and a shock of white hair. He's very busy. He's not inclined to embroil himself in any sort of mystery, but he does confirm that Mr. Trask applied for access to the rare book room. He says, sometimes you just have to follow your intuitions. I didn't feel like this man needed to be in there. As much as he read, he was trying to eat without chewing. He needed to slow down, and this was my way of encouraging that.
Well, Dr. Armitage, I would have to agree with you there. It seems you made the right decision. It was a pleasure speaking with you again. Thank you for your time.
If there's anything else I can do for you, if you have any additional questions for me, please let Mrs. Cole know, and she'll patch you right through to me. I would be more than happy to speak to you.
Yeah, thank you, good sir.
Will we see you at the harvest ball for the university? We've not seen you around for quite some time, not since your retirement.
Yes, well, there's been a whole matter going on right now, and it's quite sobered me up, but...
Sobered, you say? That's good. That's good.
We'll see how things go. Perhaps I'll make it this time around.
Well, we do hope to see you, Stuart. I hope everything's well.
Many thanks.
Yes, of course.
So the current date is October of 1926, right?
Yes, October. What is it? October 6, 1926.
This driver's license expired in July 31st of 21.
Oh, actually, sorry, it's 25. We're in 1925. So the driver's license has been expired for about 4 years.
Yes.
That is likely significant.
Yeah. The locker is up to date, so, there's modern details, but that is bizarre.
Wilbur, do you want to go follow up on the locker?
That does feel like a lead. You never know what you're going to find. I think Wilbur would be very interested.
Do you want to take anyone with you?
I'd certainly inquire if anybody was interested.
Sure, I'm interested.
Yeah, old Bertie, he'll go with you.
Good man.
You make your way to the YMCA. This is probably while Stewart is conversing with Dr. Armitage. And the Y is located at 477 Powder Mill Street in the French Hill neighborhood. When you arrive there, the day manager, a man named Alan Carter, is at the front desk. And, gentlemen, have you come for a swim? Or for perhaps a run? We've got everything you need here.
Our associate asked us to come look and pick up something from his locker.
Oh.
Yes.
Is his... do you have his papers? I'm afraid I can't give you access to his locker unless you have his assignment paper.
Well, yes, of course. Naturally. Our close associate, yes. And,
You hand him the paper, and he looks over it. Yeah, well, this seems to be in order, of course. Hey, your buddy here, strangest damn thing. This guy comes and swims all the time. Have you ever seen how he swims?
I can't say I've had the opportunity. Have you, Bertie?
I have not.
Everyone here, we get such a kick out of it. He's got the most bizarre swimming stroke. You'd think the guy was drowning, but he's having the time of his life. He just keeps coming back for more. He's not doing no breaststroke, no butterfly, no backstroke. He's just flailing around and just having a blast. And, the lifeguard's always got to keep an eye on old Gilbert. But, yeah, hopefully he'll be back. He's not checking out for good, is he? We've enjoyed having him come here.
No, he just asked us to get something from his locker. So he just jumps in the pool and splashes around.
Oh, yeah, into the deep end. You'd think the guy didn't know what water was, but he sure has a blast with it. There's no rhyme, no reason to his movements. He just kind of starts flailing around and smiling and just having a great time. And then he gets out, dries himself off, and comes back a day or two later, does it all over again.
Does he do anything else that's odd?
Well, he did have a conversation with our maintenance staff one time. He asked poor Conrad if he knew of any liquid ozone. If we use that in the pool, I don't even know what regular ozone is, let alone liquid ozone. But sometimes he's a prankster, I think. Liquid ozone. It's just plain water and chlorine in there. A little bit of urine, but that's neither here nor there.
Who was the guy that he asked?
Conrad. He's the maintenance man.
Did Conrad know what liquid ozone was?
Oh, no, he looked at him like he was speaking ancient Greek.
Did he like the temperature in the pool? Did he want it colder?
No, he liked it just as it was. In fact, he'd go into the saunas as well and get a nice little sweat built up and into the pool. And He seemed to really enjoy those sensations, the hot and the cold, and it's good for the circulation. He slides the locker requisition form back to you, Wilbur, and says, "Everything's in order. Help yourself to his locker. I hope he gave you the key, because we don't keep that. We cut him off with a bolt cutter if they're not paying their bill."
Naturally, yes. Well, we'll see about that. Thank you again for the chat as well. Thank you.
Yes, yes. You head into the locker room. It's kind of pungent. It smells like athlete's foot and sweat in here. You find his locker number, and there's a combination lock on there with the little spin dial. There's also a keyhole on it. It seems like you do have a combination there. The left 10, right 24, left 72. When you enter in that number, it pops open, and inside is a canvas bag. And when you grab it, it's heavy, like he's keeping bricks or something in here. You pull it out and set it down, and it makes kind of a metallic thud when it hits the ground. You pop it open, and there are 44 $20 gold pieces in here. This is about $18,000 worth of money in our time, just sitting in his locker. There is also a book in here called Abodes of Disquietude. And let me put this on your character sheets, and then I'm going to read just a little bit up on Abodes of Disquietude. That should show up in your gear and cash. I've put it on Stewart's, and let me put it on Wilbur's. Oh, sorry, it's not supposed to be on Stewart's, on Birdie's.
Birdie, yeah.
Yeah, let me get that on there. There. Now it should be in Birdie's gear and cash. Yep. And on Wilbur's as well. So this book, this looks to be kind of an esoteric book. It's an examination of the sanitaria of East Anglia, written in 1890 by Dr. Percival P. Murmur. This is a lengthy work, and this would probably only be of interest to a scholar of 19th century treatments for the mentally ill as practiced in Eastern England. Flipping through, you see there are a number of blueprints for sanitariums and listing the predominant treatments used in each of them. And there's a few case studies in there of patients and their treatments. One of the pages in this book is dog-eared. The corner has been bent back and to mark that spot. Let me have both Wilbur and Birdie give me a library use roll. Birdie, do you want to spend 6 luck, or do you want to push that?
I'll spend 6 luck.
Okay. This, reading kind of over this chapter, this page that's been marked, it's the beginning of a chapter on the Maltings Farm Sanatorium under the direction of Dr. Jane Walker. And this talks about, it's a case study, talks about one of Dr. Walker's patients, a nursemaid referred to as Nan C. Apparently, Nan suffered a seizure that left her with amnesia, in which she'd completely forgotten who she was. Initially, this new Nan, after the seizure, was physically and intellectually like an infant, incapable of motor skills or communication. But her recovery was swift, and within a few days, Nan showed an intellect quite beyond what she had ever had before the onset of her madness. Nan would borrow any and all books from hospital staff, and took to managing the business receipts for the hospital. After 4 years, this new Nan said it was imperative that she build something, and she took to constructing a strange contraption assembled from rods and wheels and reflecting glass. A visitor came to see her and even contributed a metal stick and an odd-looking glass to her project. Shortly after this, Nan had another seizure, and to the great shock of Dr. Walker, Nan, the nursemaid's original personality, returned, and all of her advanced reading and understanding of mathematics vanished. This old Nan had no recollection of any of the things she'd done during the preceding 5 years. She was once again a simple nursemaid, although now afflicted by nightmares. She's been haunted by a sensation that she has been in a strange alien body, and that an alien mind had occupied her body. Dr. Walker treated her with ice baths to help her overcome this irrational belief, and the book's author is full of praise for this progressive treatment regimen. And I can post this into the chat, just so you've got this in here. There, that should be in the chat bar now.
That's not light reading.
No.
To push the, do I need to record? Let's see. Oh, okay, there I got it.
Oh,
there we go.
Yep, perfect. So
Yep.
Spent the luck. Excellent. So while you two are here at the Y and discovering this small fortune in the locker and this obscure book, Stuart is making a phone call. What is Charlotte doing?
Well, is this key in the wallet the key to the locker?
You're not sure?
Because I remember when I saw that man, he said something about someone needing a key.
Yeah, he needs the key, you think is what he said.
So, this number on the key, is that like a house number, or just the make of the key, or what is that?
Give me an intelligence roll. Actually, well, let's see. I might have you give me something different. Let me see what your skill is. I don't want to make this impossible. Give me, okay, well, it's going to be next to impossible. Give me a locksmith roll first. You have 1%, so 1% chance of getting this. No, not even close. Do you want to spend 89 luck? No. Do you want to... let me have you give me an intelligence roll. You won't get as much information. You would know exactly what it was if you rolled that 1%. Oh, excellent. Hard success. So, yeah, this number here could be one of several things. It could be an address. It could also be a manufacturing code that, like, if you were, building a lock, that might be like, if I want to make a key for this lock, I could open the lock and see, oh, it's got this number. I could make a key that fits it. This is the pattern that I would use. This could also be a combination that someone has engraved into the key that might open something else. You're not sure what it might be.
Could I look up like an address book for this number or something like that?
Yeah, so you could look through probably all the other items here. Give me a library use roll. It'll probably take you about an hour to go through here, and then maybe looking through that street map of Arkham. Do you want to push that?
Yes, I will.
Okay, so you failed your pushed roll. So typically if you push a roll and fail, something negative will happen. What happens is that you find nothing here. You have no idea what that number could be, but you waste valuable time spending your time on this task. You know that this man needed help, and you've spent good hour or so pouring through this information trying to see if this was an address, but it doesn't seem to be. But that was a good line of thinking there. Let's go back to Stuart. You finished up your phone call. You've got some information from Dr. Armitage. What do you do next?
Well, there's another card here that looked rather interesting. Looks like the Anderson's chemical supplies. He was on the back of the card. He was purchasing. Looks like hydrochloric acid, aqueous. I believe it says spirits of salt and 5 gallons of something. I can't make out what it says.
Maybe, I don't know, carbon or something. But do you want to go pay them a visit? There is no phone
Yes,
number listed on this card, so you'd probably have to go there.
does have an address.
Let's go to Anderson's Chemical Supplies. Does Charlotte, you go with him?
I guess I would.
So, Anderson's is at 353 Main Street in Arkham's Merchant District. This is the red number 1 on the Pocket Guide to Arkham. Anderson's serves a mostly industrial clientele. Do you have anything that you present to the people there at the place?
Well, I suppose when we arrive, I'll ask them if this card belongs to their business.
The man, James Dellings, he's the manager. He's a serious man of business in his late 40s. He's got combed over hair that's doing little to hide his advancing years. He recalls that Trask was interested in something called liquefied quantum ozone. Dellings had never heard of any such thing, and he brought it out their head chemist, Christopher Bone. And Bone, he comes out. He's a jovial and portly man in his 50s. He recalls Trask saying something about Schrödinger equation and the molecular Hamiltonian, and some other bizarre thing that made no sense to either of us. Trask said he wasn't with any company or with the university, so this just kind of struck us as strange. He claimed it was for a project he was working on. Yeah. Look, I can tell you one thing, that liquid ozone is very uncommon and potentially very dangerous. As far as I know, there's no such thing as quantum ozone. Either way, we didn't have it, and we're never going to get it, and so Trask left, but boy, you don't forget something like that.
Well, could I make perhaps a physics check to see if I'm familiar
Yes.
with that material?
Absolutely. Oh, that's terrible. You want to push
Perhaps
that?
Yes, I will push it. Perhaps I forgot to study up on that bit.
Oh, hard success. So you know that liquefied ozone is a thing. It's ozone gas, but it's been either compressed, which would reduce the temperature, or it's been frozen into a cold enough temperature that it might liquefy. But it's it's almost unheard of. It's not. There's no application for it that you know of in chemistry and physics and anything. And this whole quantum business, that's basically theory that some people have been putting out over the past few years. You've heard of quantum physics and quantum theory because of your dealings in that realm within the university, but it's all theoretical. And everyone, lately the buzz is all about Einstein and his general and special relativity, and the guys like Schrödinger and Heisenberg. They're it's interesting, but it's still just in theory. And but quantum ozone, you have no idea what that could be.
Yeah, it wasn't respected at that time.
Yep, absolutely not.
Well, perhaps you could at least, did you sell him, it looks like he has some products listed on the back of the card here. Did you sell him any of these at all?
Yeah, he wanted some acids, and he wanted some different salts. We were able to provide everything he wanted. He wanted carbox, which is it's an oxidizer. It would react strongly with the acid, so we had to warn him, be careful with it. Well, the guy wanted 5 gallons of it. My goodness, what is he doing with that? He also asked for iridium, an iridium rod. I mean, I don't even know where we would get one, or why someone would need iridium. But this guy, he was He's a little nuts, if you ask me.
So I have a
And
question.
he didn't happen to mention what he needed these things for.
Some project at home. He said he was with the university. Showed us this card that said Miskatonic on it. Yes, Charlotte, you speak up. What was your question?
I guess I wouldn't know this, but in the nurse's writing, it says a visitor came to see her and gave her a metal stick. I was just kind of connecting that to the rod.
So unfortunately, you weren't there to read that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
so,
so that is absolutely something in the text that I posted above. So yeah, a visitor came to see her and even contributed a metal stick and an odd-looking glass. Good catch.
But I wouldn't know that, so I don't say that.
We've got the two gentlemen at the Y. You've got the money. You've read this book. Where do you go now?
Let's go to rare books and maps.
Maybe you can show them this book and find out kind of what's going on there.
Good point.
Rare books and maps. So this is at 588 Gedney Street. This is the red number 18 in the Arkham Pocket Guide. Edward Tillingast is the owner. He has a gray crew cut. And it's a good thing that Stewart is not there, because he would catch right away the whiff of gin seeping out of this man's body. To the two of you, it smells like antiseptic. Perhaps this man is a neat freak. Gentlemen, welcome. Come in. What can I help you with?
So we got this rare book here that we found. We're wondering if you could tell us anything about it.
Oh, this. Yeah. Oh, strangest damn thing. This guy comes in asking for 3 books, and a guy like this leaves an impression. 2 of these books were occult texts in Latin: Flagellum Daemonium and Antiquitatum Mecklenburgensium. I certainly don't carry those. The 3rd was entitled Abodes of Disquietude. I had a colleague in London that found this and was able to provide me with a copy. This book was about British sanitariums. When I asked this guy why he needed it, he said he wished to read it, which the whole thing was strange and memorable, because who's going to want to read that? I mean, talk about putting someone to sleep. You could perform surgery under that sort of anesthesia. But strangest damn thing, this guy paid me with a gold piece. I had to go to the bank to make change. The book was 45 cents. He gave me a $20 coin. Who carries around money like that?
Did he get his change?
Oh, I did. It took me a while. The bank didn't want to take that. They had to go get an expert to make sure that I wasn't trying to pull a fast one. But he waited patiently for the change. He wanted this book, and I dare say that's the same book right there. You're not wanting to sell it back, are you? Because there's no way I'm going to be able to sell that to anyone else.
No, I don't think so.
This.
So he wanted the book.
Yes. So it's the 3 books in total: Flagellum Daemonium, Antiquitatum Mecklenburgensium, and then this one, Abodes of Disquietude.
Do you speak Latin?
No, but I've got many friends that do. Greek is more my lingua franca. See, I threw some
Do you
Latin.
have any idea? Do you have any idea what flagellum means?
It means whip. The demon's whip. Flagellum Daemonium. And then...
What was the other one?
Antiquitatum Mecklenburgensium. This book, I had to ask around for this one. Apparently it's been out of print for 50 years. It's about Mecklenburg. He was a scientist, an alchemist back in the Dark Ages. And, turning lead into gold and that sort of thing, working with minerals and salts and strange, curious things to try and craft something from nothing, basically to prove that is the universal law. He's been disproven for 500 years or so, but I could not find that one.
See, Stuart is Stuart with me?
Uh, no. So it's Bertie is with Wilbur, and then Stuart is with Charlotte.
Yeah.
I see. Well, thank you for your time.
Yes, of course, of course. Let's go back to Charlotte and Stuart. You have just left the chemical supply place. What would you like to do next?
Well, Charlotte, you are the prospective detective here. What do you suppose we should look at next?
Oh, thank you. Well, I'm still pretty interested in this key. I know it's probably important. He was making quite a big deal out of it, so is there like a locksmith in town or around anywhere?
Oh yes, there certainly would be.
I would like to visit a locksmith, see what they can make of this.
There's the Arkham Lock Emporium, which is but a short walk from Anderson's Chemical Supplies. It's still in the mercantile district. When you walk in, there's a very old German man sitting behind the counter, and he is actually working on a clock. He does clocks, watches, locks, anything with small gears, small parts, and machining. He would do that. He's working on a clock. When you come in, he kind of looks up. He's got these magnifying lenses kind of perched on his nose. Big bushy gray mustache kind of hangs down low over his mouth. Oh yes, welcome in, young lady. How may I help you?
Hello, sir. I was just looking to inquire about this key I found. What can you tell me about this?
Oh, let me see the key. And he holds out a hand, and you notice he's got a little bit of a tremor in his hand. He takes the key. Oh yes. This is very standard. Yes, you see this number on here. I know this key. I can look it up in a book. You see.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and he pulls out a book and looks it up, and he says, "Yeah, this goes with the Schlag lock number 42675. Do you have that lock? Do you need a copy of this key made?"
Oh, I don't believe I need a copy, but what is that lock for?
Well, it could be for anything. It could be for a door. It could be used in a padlock. It's basically the Schlag lock system is just a series of tumblers, and you could put it in anything, in any sort of housing. And so this could be, it wouldn't be like a car or something like that. It would not make your car go, but this would open a door or a padlock or something like that. Perhaps a desk, a curio, something similar to that.
Oh, well, do you know what this specific lock and key were for?
Well, no. You see, you could come to me and say, I own this lock. I need a key made. And I could look it up and say, oh, you need key number 821254. And then I go and I pull it out of the drawer if I have some made. If not, I make you a new one. And then I stamp the number in here so that if you bring me the key and say, I need a new lock for this key, I can then go and purchase the lock. Do you understand how this works?
Yes, I understand.
Excellent. So I cannot tell you what this particular key opens other than it opens a Schlag lock.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Ja, mein Brötchen. And he goes back to his clockwork.
Well, Stuart, where are we going next?
Well, perhaps we should take a moment and regroup with our fellows and converse with what we've discovered.
It's getting to be about lunchtime. You know that the Grafton Diner is not too far from here, and perhaps you agreed to meet up at the Grafton Diner with the others.
Sounds
Sounds
good.
like a great idea.
Yeah.
The Grafton Diner, home of the Arkham Special. Let me grab that note here. Grafton's is located at 106 West High Lane, adjacent to the train station in the North Side neighborhood. That's number 15 in the Arkham's Pocket Guide. Well, this is not the best restaurant in Arkham. It is the only diner in town open on Sundays. The seemingly always on duty and always smiling face of the business is Bernice Whaley, and she's always working the diner's counter. And as you come in, she's wiping down the counter, moving the little napkin holders around, and she grabs two menus and in either hand and holds them out, almost like she's spreading a deck of cards for the four of you as you walk in. You probably walk in two by two. She hands you a menu and asks if you're there for the special of the day.
I'm there too, right?
Yes, you are.
What is the special?
Meatloaf. It's the special every day, though. We got the best meatloaf in town. We call it the Arkham Special. Can't ever go wrong with the meatloaf.
Sounds good. Hey, do you know a man named Garrett Trask that's been around?
Garrett Trask. I might know. Do you have a picture of him? I might know his face.
I think there was a picture on his driver's license.
No, it didn't have.
This is the
I
good
don't
old
think it
days.
did.
Oh wait, no, there is a picture.
Yeah, it did
Oh,
have.
is that of the commissioner though? Or is that?
That looks like that is a photograph that has been pasted on there.
Right.
So that is probably Gilbert Trask. Do you show
So
her that
whip
picture?
that out. Yeah, whip that out and show it to her.
She lets out a little chuckle. Oh, Mr. Greenbeans. Yeah, you can't ever forget this guy. Are you friends with this guy?
Sure.
Oh, all that guy eats is green beans. He'll come in here and order a whole plate of them. He doesn't ever want the special, just the green beans. Usually he's reading a book when he comes in.
What is he reading?
Oh, the one day I come in there, I peeked over his shoulder. I was hoping it was a Western. No. Something in some strange language. Looked like Egyptian or something to me.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll take the special.
All right. Meatloaf it is. Meatloaf four ways. You all want the special?
Oh, well, I would partake.
Charlotte, are you a meatloaf person?
I'll just have some milk.
Nice. How about some cookies, dear?
Oh, that would be great. Thank you.
She brings you milk and 3 cookies on a little plate. Meatloaf with mashed potatoes for everyone else. And as you sit down and eat, the food is not that great. The special is, there's nothing special about it. It's typical diner fare, and not really good diner fare at that. But it is warm and it is filling. The cookies was probably the best choice. It's now probably 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's been about 4 hours since Charlotte found that man. And you meet up and kind of discuss your findings and maybe share some information that you have. How do you proceed from here?
I'd kind of like to go see, claim these pictures at Walter's Optics Flash.
Yeah. You guys want to go together? Do you want to split up again?
I think Stuart would be open to the group going.
Yeah, I got a little confused in the first go around.
Let's go to Walter's Optics Flash. Walters Optics provides film developing to the shutterbugs of Arkham. That's the Flash service. You show the claim check there at Walters, and Timothy Walters, he's the proprietor, is eager to be of assistance. Um, he says, "Oh, that'll be 85 cents," and he has a set of prints in an envelope. And you would Charlotte may not have the money for this, although there is money in the wallet. The rest of you, 85 cents would be no big deal. That's easily within your daily spending limit. The when you review the photos, at first it seems like something is wrong with the camera, as all of the photos are strangely geometric angles and lights. Further examination of them suggests that they are photos of some kind of contraption that features rods, wheels, and mirrors set up at angles so as to reflect other mirrors. In two of the photos, you see the face of a man reflected in mirrors. This matches the description of the man that Charlotte saw. And Charlotte, you recognize this man. This is a fair-haired man of about 40 with wire-rimmed glasses. Now, you've seen the picture on his driver's license. That looks like him, but there's no glasses. But it looks like he is taking a picture of some weird device, and his reflection is in some of those mirrors and glass surfaces.
Could I discern the what this device may be? Perhaps I've read about something like this in my studies.
Yeah, absolutely. You can give me a roll for that. You can do like mechanical repair. Um, I will let you do physics, but it will have a penalty die if you want to do that. That's still probably your best option.
Most certainly.
So physics has to do with, or optics falls under the purview of physics, and so you would know about convex, concave mirrors, reflective surfaces, refraction, things like that. And you see that there are indeed multiple surfaces here. It's almost like a Newtonian telescope where you have multiple mirrors reflecting images, and you can see it's very difficult to see at first, but the images are flipped as would happen as they go through a mirror. You know, images get flipped left to right, top to bottom, and but you can use a correcting lens that would then flip it to the right way. And it looks as though this has that built in. There are lenses as well as mirrors in here. Now, is this a telescope? Doesn't look like any telescope you've ever seen. There's no light baffle. There's nothing to prevent ambient light from getting into the image. But that's the closest approximation you can make, is that maybe this is some sort of telescope. But telescopes wouldn't have all these gears. It's almost like a clock as well, or some sort of mechanical device. What it does not look like is a radio. You know what inside of a radio would look like. There's nothing electrical in here at all.
Well, purely mechanical. I can't say for certain, though it appears to be some sort of telescope.
Hmm. Mechanical? Let me take a look. And it's just like, I don't know. I like the idea of the clockworks.
Yeah, give me a mechanical repair roll.
Oh.
Do you want to push that?
I think I may just. I don't want to break it though. Jeez, why do I always say that?
Oh,
No.
missed it by 9.
Oh,
There was a valuable clue that you could have gleaned, but yeah.
I should have just used luck. I don't even know how much I have, but oh no.
Looking at that, it's definitely. You're sure this is most likely not a telescope. You're not familiar with telescopes, but you're an engineer in like the public works. I think you do like the water treatment or something. And this looks to be something that would be more of perhaps a timekeeping device, like a clock. Why it's got mirrors and optics, you have no idea. But this looks to be, looking at this assembly of gears and rods, you think this is probably closer to a clock than it is to a telescope.
So that German guy, the locksmith, he knew a lot about clocks.
Yeah, do you want to
He-
show him the picture?
I mean, I would like to, if everyone else.
Yeah, I'd love to. And also, for some reason, I can speak German. So,
Oh, nice.
Jawohl, perfect.
not, great, not even 50, but close.
Prob-
That's bizarre.
You were probably in the Great War, is probably
Well,
where you
yeah.
picked up German.
Oh, yeah, I kind of like it. That makes sense.
So
Civil
well
engineer.
done, Charlotte. So that is the workaround. If you fail this roll to find out what's wrong and you show it to the guy that knows clocks, that's the way to get the clue. As you go back there, he looks at it, and it takes him about 10 seconds before he says, this is missing a part. 2 parts, actually. There's a gear and a rod missing here, and look, there should be another mirror right here. There's a spot for it, but there is no mirror there.
Well, you know your stuff. Gee, no, sorry, miss.
Oh, that's all right. Do you know that this is a clock, or what is the purpose of this machine?
I think this is a clock. This has something to do with the passage of time. You could record perhaps like if you were measuring time to do some sort of experiment, like we would call it a stopwatch. You could perhaps start it and it would track the time until you stopped it. Perhaps it's measuring something to do with the optics, perhaps light or darkness or something. Perhaps he is trying to measure the speed of light. I do not know. This is a question for Herr Einstein, not for me. I simply put them back together. I could fashion this gear here. I can see how many teeth it needs, and I can estimate the size. If this is to scale with the gentleman's face, I could probably construct something here. I might even have something from an old grandfather clock. I would do it for money. It would not be inexpensive.
How much?
Oh, probably $20. I know that's probably out of your reach, young girl, but this takes great skill. Only you had a bag of $20 gold coins, 44 of them to be exact.
That's a good point. You got someone to painstakingly count change?
Well, he would just take one of those gold coins and probably call it good.
Oh, of course, he would know his stuff, duh.
Yeah. Give him a coin?
Well, friend, it's clear you know your stuff. Maybe you'll find this fair, and yeah, I don't know where it's at or who has it, but I think we would give them one.
Ah, Rheingold. Very good. Come back here in 2 hours. I will have it ready before dinner time. Do you want this to be of the bronze, or do you want this to be of something else? Does it matter if the materials match the others?
That's a great question.
I think it would probably be best if they matched.
You would imagine.
Well, as this is black and white film, I can only guess that this must be either copper or bronze.
We'll go try to find it and maybe come back and let you know.
Very good, very good. I will help you with this. Let me know what material you would like. I will make a prototype. I will make it in bronze first. It is very inexpensive. I just need to make the mold. I think I have one of this size. I will cut the teeth. And if you need it of something else, I will have the mold ready for that too. For $20, I will do anything. right.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And have a good afternoon. Where to now?
Where was this guy staying?
Gilbert
We have his
Trask?
address.
Yeah, you have his address. It's in a couple different
22
places.
Silverbrook Street is one of them.
His old driver's license shows an address in Albany, but that's 4 years expired. But you've got
And
a
that's in New York.
YMCA. Yeah, that'd be in New York. Your YMCA shows a address in Arkham, as well as I think there's something else that has an address in Arkham on it. I think it was the bail bonds. But you do have an Arkham address. You could go check out 22 Silverbrook Street in Arkham.
Yeah, let's do that.
Absolutely.
All right. Not far from the Christchurch Cemetery, where all of this started, is a small residential home. When you knock on the door, there is an answer, and it is a man. Looks to be quite studious. He's got a nice beard, well-groomed blonde hair, or kind of blondish brown hair. He's got a fine suit on, and he answers the door. Yes, how can I be of assistance to you? And he looks kind of down at Charlotte and smiles. Young lady, are you taking donations for a church or something?
No, I'm not. I'm investigating a very important mystery.
A mystery, you say? Well,
Yes.
like a scavenger hunt. Well, I'll do what I can. How can I help you?
Well, me and my friends here, we are looking for this man, and I'll show him the picture on the license.
I do not know this man, but this is my license. I am Gilbert Trask.
Oh, did I not recognize him when he opened the door?
You did not recognize him. Give me a spot hidden
Oh.
roll. Do you want to spend luck, or do you want to push that? Be 9 points of luck.
I'll just spend the luck, yeah.
Okay, so if you click on the 62, it'll ask if you want to spend luck. This is not the man you saw in the park. This is not the man in the picture. But he's saying his name is Gilbert Trask.
Have you had any strange
I might have only caught part of that. I heard, have you had any strange, and then it cut off.
Yeah, I'm trying to seizures?
Oh, seizures. Me? No, I'm quite healthy, you see. My blood pressure is exactly 114 over 66. My pulse rate currently is 68 beats per minute. What is this mystery, young girl?
Me and my friends here, we were very interested in a machine that you seem to have been creating.
Me? Oh,
Yes.
I'm afraid you're mistaken. I do not build machines or own. I don't even own a car.
Have you ever owned a car?
I have not. I ambulate wherever I need to go.
Well, you did say this was your license, wasn't it?
Well, yes, but I do not own a car. I've never driven a car.
I
Um,
see.
I've. Where did you find my license?
Well, it seems we found your whole entire wallet.
Oh, I have been looking for this wallet. I did not know I had lost it. I would happily take it back and thank you for returning it to me.
of course, but I got one question. In the wallet, forgive me for snooping, but you got a automobile bail bond certificate in here. It's got your name on it. You signed,
Oh,
but you've never driven a car. What's the deal?
I wouldn't know the first thing about operating a motor vehicle. Um,
Well,
I
that's quite a non-answer.
Yes, but perhaps that is the mystery: is who has been playing pranks upon my wallet? Tell me, did you find a key in my wallet?
Why do you ask?
I am missing a key.
Oh, a key for what?
Well, for my private, personal things.
Oh, excuse me for being nosy. I just can't help it.
Do you have this key?
I'm afraid we didn't find any key in the wallet.
Oh, drat. Tell me, where do you live, little girl, so that I might send you a reward for finding my wallet?
Oh, I need no reward for doing good.
Oh. And you, gentlemen, may I send you a reward as well for finding my wallet?
No, thank you.
And he
So, do you like to read?
I do. I enjoy reading very much.
What have you been reading about lately?
He give me a spot hidden roll there, Bertie. Do you want to push that or spend luck?
Need a 75. I'll push it.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice. He's holding a book in his hands, and when you ask what he's reading, he immediately shuts it. And he turns the cover to his chest and says, "Oh, just a biography, a book of little importance. Quite dull, actually."
I see. Then why read it?
Well, to pass the time.
I wish I had that kind of time.
Well, time is my specialty. I am waiting for something. It has not yet happened, but it will happen soon. I am just waiting until the time is right. Now, Charlotte, you know this is not the man you saw.
Right.
Yet he says he's Gilbert Trask. He doesn't seem to recognize you. The man you saw looked you right in the eye and asked for help. This is not the same man.
Yeah, I don't trust this guy.
Should you find the key, please return it to me, and I will provide an ample reward.
Well, if I find it, then you'll be the first person to know.
Do you say anything out loud about this is not Gilbert Trask?
Not in front of not Gilbert Trask.
Okay. Stuart, give me a spot hidden roll.
Wow.
Wow, hard success. As this conversation is going on, you happen to just kind of look up and down the street, and you see there's a Model T parked across the street and just a little bit to the east of this house, and you can see a man seated behind the wheel. You see the glint of gold teeth in his mouth as he smiles and looks at you.
Do I recognize him?
You do not recognize this man, no. Give me a luck roll. You know that the north side of town is a little bit rougher than the south side. You know that crime's not an issue in Arkham, but the city does have an organized criminal element dedicated to keeping alcohol coming into the city, in spite of prohibition. The Arkham police, which are sometimes rumored as being corrupt, seem content to leave Danny O'Banion and his Irish gang alone, provided they don't cause disruptions to business or injury to average citizens. This looks like one of O'Banion's men, or someone like it. He's got that air of a gangster. He just looks like he's dangerous and looks like he's trouble.
Well, perhaps I'll give him a polite nod and go on my way.
So you have handed over the wallet to not Gilbert Trask?
Can I hold on to the Eye of Amara Society?
You can. Anything else anyone wanted to take out of there before you hand it over? Doing it surreptitiously?
I would also like to take the one of the coins.
There's two. There's a gold coin, and then there's
the
a
smaller
token.
one. The token.
So the token is for the Lucky Clover Cartage Company. That's basically like it's like the UPS of the time. They would ship and deliver and handle any sort of packaging, shipping, things like that. You wouldn't know this, Charlotte, but I'll bet you Stuart would know that the Lucky Clover Cartage Company is said to be run by Danny O'Banion and his organized crime element. In fact, Stuart, you would know that that's often considered a lucky token, that if you run afoul of the O'Banion gang, that token might provide you with a get-out-of-jail-free card, so to say.
Well, perhaps it would be a good idea to hold on to it.
I want to keep the press clipping card as well.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, says not Gilbert Trask, I must be back to my waiting. And he begins to close the door, and then you see him move aside the curtains, and he's just staring right out the window, as though you can't see him, but clearly you can. But he's just looking like it's a two-way mirror, so he thinks, maybe. And he's just like watching you, thinking since he's inside and the door's shut, maybe you guys can't see him. But he's just right there, looking right at you through the glass.
I kind of cheekily wave at him.
You see the curtain quickly close, and then the curtain on the other side of the window opens, and you see his face peering out at you.
All right, I put my thumb on my nose, extend my fingers up, and kind of wiggle them at him.
The curtain shuts, and you hear something crash. He just knocked over a little vase that was on a table there by the window. You definitely got him agitated. You hear a laugh coming from that Model T car. That rough-looking fellow starts to chuckle. And Charlotte, as you look over, you can see those gold teeth in his mouth.
So, who would like to go to the hardware store?
Yeah, I'll come with.
Sounds like it could be another lead.
Before we do that, I would actually like to go talk to Danny.
The guy in the car?
Yeah.
What do you say to him?
I'll just say I couldn't help noticing you kind of watching us over there.
Hey, it's a free country, you know. I come where I want. Look, I'm not from these parts, but I'm waiting for a friend, Gilbert. I ain't seen him yet, but this is his house. What's your business here?
Well, I'm also looking for Gilbert.
I got a little girl about your age. What business do you have without that piece of scum? Pardon my French.
Well, you see, I'm an investigator of mysteries, and a mystery has appeared in front of me involving this Mr. Trask.
An investigator, you say? You're just like my little girl. Hey, tell you what, sweetheart. You probably want to stay away from here. Whatever your mystery is, you want to take it somewhere else. Look, this Mr. Trask, he owes some people, me, quite a bit of money, and I'm gonna see that I get my money out of him.
Can I ask why he owes you money?
Oh, this guy, he used to work for me. I used to work in New York. You ever been there?
I'm afraid not.
Oh, New York's a great place. A lot better than this little dump here. There's no action here. There's no gambling, nothing in this town. Why, all people seem to do here is go to church. But no, where I'm from, it's all lights and glitz and glamour. Well, Mr. Trask, he was a driver. You see, he was driving a truck down with some Canadian whiskey. You know what whiskey is, don't you, sweetheart?
Yes, I do.
You stay away from that stuff. It'll rot your teeth. And your brain. But you see, Mr. Trask, he was driving a truck for me. Well, turns out there's some sort of accident, he says. I don't know if it was an accident or not. He crashed the truck he was driving, smuggling Canadian alcohol. Well, he appears to have been rendered insensible by this accident. As he recovers from his injuries, all of a sudden he acts like he don't know me. Well, me, Joey DiVincenzo, I paid a dear price for that destroyed truck full of liquor. See, my boss, he moved on me and came after me for losing the profits. He broke my leg and knocked out all my teeth. And he smiles almost like a shark and shows you his gold teeth. See these shiny teeth here? Pure gold here. Not much good for chewing, but they're very impressive. Well, I figured Mr. Trask owes me a busted leg and some knocked out teeth, and I intend to see that happens. Funny thing is, I got something of his that he wants. He just don't know where it is. He don't know I have it.
Well, what do you have that's his?
Yeah, some stupid piece of glass. Came in a box. Shipped over from Italy or something. Il Specchio, they calls it. I speak a little of the language, being that my family's from there and whatnot. But this thing is some sort of mirror or something. And, well, it was addressed to him, but it fell off a truck, if you know what I mean.
How much do you want for it?
For this piece of glass, this mirror?
Yeah.
Oh, $500 ought to do it. That'll pay for the insult, as well as the limp I gotta carry the rest of my life.
Look, buddy, I don't want to get involved in your personal grievance. I just want to buy the mirror. You can take it out on Trask yourself.
You mean I get the money and I get to beat up Mr. Trask?
No, I mean, I'll give you a reasonable amount of money for the mirror, and you get to beat up Mr. Trask.
Oh, well, I plan with no drawbacks. Tell you what, I can be back here with the mirror in short order. You give me about 2 hours. I just gotta go back to my place where I'm staying and pick it up. I'll bring it here. How do I know? How do I know you're gonna have the money? 500's a lot of cash, Mister.
I'm not paying 500. I may maybe paying 20.
You're gonna pay. You tell me 500, but you're only paying me 20.
I never said 500.
Well, then we ain't got no business to talk about. 500's what it's gonna cost you if you want this mirror.
Well, you want to hurt Mr. Trask, and we want the mirror, and you don't want the mirror, so, I think this is a fair trade. 20 for the mirror, and you have no use for it.
Tell you what, I'll flip a coin with you, sweetheart. Heads, I'll do it. Tails, I won't do it for less than 500. You feeling lucky? I taught my little one all about gambling. She can do the horses, she can do cards, she can throw dice. I teach you too, sweetheart. Here, and he hands you a nickel. Call it in the air. Heads or tails. You get it right, we'll do it for $20. You do it wrong, it'll be 500.
Okay.
Okay, give me a luck roll. And then what do you call it, heads or tails?
Heads. Oh, no.
It's tails. He says, sweetheart. Unless you want to spend... actually, you can't spend luck on a luck roll. He says, sweetheart, I'm afraid Lady Luck just ain't with you. $500 in cash, I get you that mirror. And again, you guys have $860 in gold coins.
You go get the mirror and we'll think about it.
Well, you better think good and hard about it, because if I come back with the mirror and I ain't got a buyer, I might have to get warmed up on a couple of old men.
Well, you could get warmed up on Mr. Trask himself.
You know where he is? He ain't come home.
If I knew that, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here either if I knew where he was. Alright, I'll go get the mirror. I'll come back here in 2 hours. You see Mr. Trask, you keep him here. And Joey starts up the car and heads off down the street. Charlotte, before you guys leave, anything else you want to do?
Could I maybe look around the house?
Yeah. Give me like a stealth roll. Are you trying to be sneaky?
Yeah.
So that
well,
not...
I think he's probably watching out of the windows.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you want to spend 14 luck or push it?
I'll spend the luck.
The house has a very small yard. There's a front door and a back door and a coal chute. This is where a truck would drive up and they would dump coal down the chute into the basement where you would store your coal for your stove. There is a padlock on the coal chute. It has a slot for a key.
Can I try the key that I have?
You sure can. It slides in easily, and when you twist, there's a satisfying click as the lock opens. Now the coal chute is very narrow. You could easily fit down it, but the three gentlemen would have a little bit of a harder time. It's going to let you down into the cellar. It's very dark in there.
Oh dear.
Do I see anything immediately?
Just darkness. Do you have any source of light?
Does anybody have some matches or something?
You could reach around and try to find a chain that you can pull to turn on a light.
Can I try that?
Yep, you'll have to slide down that coal chute. You gonna go down it?
Yeah.
Alright, you figure no mystery was ever solved without getting a little dirty.
Exactly.
And you slide down the chute, and you know that your mom's gonna be so upset because you can feel the slick coal dust on your skin. You know it's all over your clothes and probably will not wash out. But you hit the ground softly and lightly, and you begin to kind of swing your arms and give me another luck roll. Oh, okay. That is an extreme success. Yeah, you do find a chain. Now, there were matches in the wallet. That's the red herring matchbook. But you managed to find a chain. And when you pull it, a light comes on. It's very, very dark down here, but you see something curious. It's a machine.
Is it the machine that we saw in the pictures?
Yeah, it looks like that, although it's had a little bit of work done to it. This device, it's strange looking, perhaps the size of a small fish tank. It's comprised of a wild array of rods, wheels, and mirrors. You think that this is probably missing a part. It's hard to imagine what it might be, except maybe a one-of-a-kind convex mirror called Il Specchio that you guys just discussed with Joey DiVincenzo. You think that's what it's missing. And you can see there's a gear behind the mirror that looks like it's missing as well. But after talking to that nice German man, you can see exactly where it would fit. And you're not a metallurgist, but you know that these are bronze gears. So he's making the correct one. There is no source of power. There's no battery, there's no fuel tank, there's no power switch, there's no switch or controls at all. You don't know how this would work, but it looks like some strange steampunkish sort of looking thing. You see stairs that lead up into the house from this cellar. There's probably a kitchen door you can see at the top of the stairs.
If I go up the stairs, can I hear anything, like him talking?
Yeah, give me a listen roll. All you hear is the beating of your heart. It's almost too difficult to really hear much of anything because of that. All you hear is that rhythmic thump of your own heartbeat. Do you want to push that roll or spend luck?
No, I think I'll just get out of there before I get caught.
Okay. You're gonna have to scurry up that coal chute. It's very slick with coal dust. This is gonna be a roll for this. This will be a dexterity roll. Nice. You manage to get up. You're light enough, and you can kind of push your hands and feet against the chute. You make it out, and you see you're just covered in black soot, and you know it's going to be a difficult explanation to your mother. Maybe you can get home and get changed before she notices, but these clothes are probably ruined. You make it back out to the street, and you see your three adult companions kind of anxiously waiting for you. What do you tell them?
I'll tell them that I found the machine in this guy's basement, and I'll tell them that it is missing the mirror and the gear, and the German guy is making the right gear for it.
We've got about 2 hours before Mr. DiVincenzo comes back with the mirror. What do we do now? I think we kept the worldwide press clippings. We kept
The Eye of Amara Society.
the Eye of Amara. Did we keep the pawn shop receipt?
I hope we did.
Where do you want to go first of those places? Stuart, where would you like to go?
Well, this Eye of Amara Society seems promising.
Let's go to the Eye of Amara. The Eye of Amara Society occupies a converted Georgian-era mansion at 131 East Saltonstall Street in the Lower South Side neighborhood. It's normally locked up tight, and there is a doorman that's present. And as the four of you approaches, he looks at you and says in a gruff voice, "Members only."
Well, I will present this card.
He looks at it. "You may enter, but no guests."
Well, surely you would allow prospective members that they may in future wish to join this society, and they are friends of mine. Certainly, you would welcome them into your fold.
You know that's not how we do things here, sir. You know this is invitation only.
That's fine. We'll just take a little walk.
So maybe Stuart goes in here while the rest of you go to one of the other places?
No, we'll just kind of go around a corner or something. That's what I'm thinking.
Perfect.
Unless someone disagrees.
Well, Stuart, you are admitted inside. Once you go in, this is basically a clubhouse for mystics, swamis, and the metaphysically inclined. There's a small lecture room, there's a seance parlor, and a private library of occult books. There's also a small kitchen area for refreshments, and there's a staircase leading up with a rope going over the staircase with a sign that says private.
How fine are the refreshments here?
They're actually quite nice. There's some fresh fruit that's been sliced. There's some water with sliced lemon to drink. There's no alcohol on the premises. There's also a strange, looks like a type of tobacco. You're probably not familiar with this. It smells kind of stinky. You're not sure what sort of tobacco this might be, but you have heard that some Native Americans would smoke peyote or other substances to have mind-bending experiences, and you think that this is probably something similar to that.
Well, that's not what Stuart was looking for, but so be it.
Probably
I'll
your
go without.
best lead here might be the private library of books, if there's anything you wanted to investigate in here.
Well, we did have those books that he wished to acquire from the rare books and maps, so perhaps I can find those titles here and get an idea of what he might have been looking for.
Yeah, give me a library use roll. Do you want to spend luck or push that?
I'll push it.
You don't find anything on those particular books. You look for the Flagellum Demonium and the Antiquitatum book. There's nothing like that. You do find a book. There's like a roster where people can sign out books. And as you just kind of skim through the roster, you see that Gilbert Trask has recently checked out and returned a book called Dark Masters of Venice. And you find that book. It's a book about historical occultists in Venice. And one chapter features a drawing of a strange device. Now, did Charlotte describe that device that she found? I don't think she mentioned anything about the device in the basement.
No, but I recall the pictures that we had seen.
Based on the picture, it looks similar to that, and it describes Melfi, a glassmaker on the Venetian island of Murano. And according to the book, let me send this into the chat, and then I will narrate this as well. An angel, come from celestial realms, instructed Melfi of heavenly mathematiques, of convex mirrors, their holy reflections, and their earthly fabrication. Under the angel's tutelage, Melfi was able to construct a time machine made of wheels and gears and rods of various and sundry metals, and il specchio di Melfi, an unflawed glass of his own making, with which he did perform miracles wondrous and astonishing, pierce the very veil of the heavens, and fracture time itself. In days that shall follow, this wondrous device shall be known as a chronolytic capacitor, and it shall be a marvel beheld by princes and kings. Give me a sanity roll. You will lose 2 points of sanity upon reading of this time machine and having seen this this device and being a man of physics, knowing that time travel cannot be possible. Yet, could it be? Is it possible? And you, because you failed your sanity roll, you will have an involuntary reaction, a gasp, or you will drop the book, or something that, you're like a startle reflex. What would Stuart have happen?
Well, I think he would have a momentary lapse of confusion. He's getting rather old, and this might befuddle him a bit.
And several minutes pass, and you're just looking at this paragraph again and again, reading and rereading and wondering if this could possibly at all be true. What is Wilbur and Bertie and Charlotte doing while you're in here reading up on Il Specchio di Melfi?
Well, I don't want to speak for Wilbur.
Yeah. I kind of have no clue.
We could kind of keep an eye on the door, see if anyone's coming and going.
Yeah, I think that's probably the most useful Wilbur feels like he can be.
Let me have you both give me a spot hidden roll.
Oh my.
Do you want to spend luck or push that, Wilbur?
I was strategically waiting to see what
Yeah,
happened
Bertie got
there.
Bertie was paying attention. You were looking at the fire hydrant in the area and thinking that thing needs some maintenance work, and you're kind of making mental notes as far as who to tell, back at the city that needs to take care of that. But Birdie, you see a man walk down the street, and it's the same man you saw that said he was Gilbert Trask. And he walks down the street and he steps towards the Eye of Amara building, and he pulls out that same wallet, and he goes through the wallet and he's looking and looking and looking, and then you see his shoulders slump, and he closes the wallet and he looks at the building, puts the wallet in his pocket, turns and walks away.
So Wilbur, can you and Charlotte stay here and wait for Stuart to come out, and I will go follow this guy?
Yeah, happy to.
We'll meet back up at Gilbert's house.
As you follow this guy, you see him stop at the pawn shop. He goes in there, the Diamond Credit Agency, and this man opens the door. You hear the little jingle of the bell as he walks in there. Do you go into the store, or do you stay outside the store?
I'll just kind of try to discreetly watch from outside through the window.
Okay. As you watch from outside the window, give me another spot hidden roll.
I'll spend 4 luck.
Yeah, I was going to say that's an easy luck spend right there. You see this man talking to the man behind the counter, and he produces a little ticket from the wallet and hands it over to the man behind the counter. And the man comes back a few moments later, and he hands him a pocket watch. And you kind of get a little peek at the pocket watch that he's got there. And he puts it in his pocket and thanks the man, and leaves some money on the counter. And then he turns and heads to the door to leave. You can...
I'll just kind of slip around the side of the building if I can.
Give me a stealth roll with a bonus die.
How do I add the bonus die?
So
okay, there, I get it.
Yep, the little slider. Ooh. Do you want to push that?
Let's see, a stealth. Yeah, I'm gonna need to push that. I don't have enough luck.
Yep. Oh,
nope.
Almost. As you come out, you duck around the corner of the building, and the man comes out and he looks and he pauses, and he kind of looks in your general direction, and he takes a few steps towards you, and then he sits up straight, as though, struck by lightning, just suddenly rigid and stiff and straight. And then he quickly turns around and begins to run. And he's running back in the direction of the house where you first found this man. Charlotte and Wilbur, you see Stuart come out, and he's got this kind of dazed look on his face. And in fact, he's probably rubbing the side of his face, and he badly needs a drink. You can tell just by looking at him. What do the three of you do? Actually, what does Stuart, do you explain what you found in that book?
Well, certainly, though I cannot reconcile it, it appears that this man is attempting to build some sort of time device, time machine, as it were, and that appears to be what he needed the mirror for.
It's been about the 2 hours. That gear is probably ready at the the locksmith if you want to go and pick up that gear.
Who are we carrying around all this gold coin?
As far as I know, you're carrying it around in that little satchel.
Yeah, because I was able to grab just one earlier to pay somebody something, right?
Yeah.
So we have it at hand.
Did we already pay the clock worker?
No. So he needs $20, and then Joey DiVincenzo wants $500. But you've got, I think there's 44 $20 gold coins. So you've got $880. So you have plenty of money.
Well, we're separated.
Yep.
I said we meet back up at the house.
So who's going to go pick up the gear?
Charlotte's pretty bright. I imagine she would think of it.
Going to go get the gear, Charlotte?
Sure, I can do that.
And then the three men are going to go to the house? It seems almost pressing the way that not Gilbert Trask took off in a hurry, as though maybe something has just happened.
Yeah, I would be keen to follow this guy if it seems like a. Is there any way to tell if he spotted me and that's why he ran, or something happened?
Give me a psychology roll. Oh,
Nice.
Man, excellent.
Very nice.
Yeah, you don't think he spotted you. You think he was suspicious. It's almost as though, like, he suddenly realized something, or, something just completely overwhelmed and distracted him, and he just took off with a single purpose of mind. Probably gave you no more thought.
Yeah, I'm going after him.
Okay. You can see him running down the street. He's with no regards for traffic. He's kind of running in and out of cars, running, like, hopping fences, just going in as straight a line as possible to that house. It's going to take a little effort to keep up with him, but you are able enough to do this. This is, something serious has just happened. As you chase him down, Charlotte, you go and obtain that gear from that man, and he says, "So tell me, is bronze the correct material, or do you need something else?"
Oh no, bronze is perfect.
Oh, excellent! I have it ready for you. And he takes it out and he's polishing it, making it really shiny and smooth. Here, I even made you the control rod that will go right here. I assume it will be bronze as well. I also made you one of steel, depending on whatever you like. This is, after all, something perfect for you. A fine young investigator. I will be your Dr. Watson for a moment. Be very careful when you put this into the device. Do not pinch your fingers, for many a clockmaker has pinched his fingers trying to set the gears. So maybe let an adult do it, or do it very slowly and very carefully. Yeah?
Thank you, sir. You've been very kind.
Well, I do it not only for you, but for myself. Have you the money that we agreed upon?
I'll take out a little gold coin and give it to him.
And he takes the gold coin and then puts it in a little money box, and he pulls out a penny. And, for you, my dear.
Oh,
Go get
thank
yourself
you.
some candy.
Thank
And he hands you the
sir.
little penny.
And I'll take the gears and go.
Excellent. Is Wilbur and Stuart following Bertie?
I think we were watching over the shop or something. Wilbur was. I don't remember.
Well, I think once Stuart had come out, that we then were going to go meet up with him, weren't we?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that.
So you probably it's some time and he's not returned, and you might walk in the direction he had headed. Charlotte meets up with you with the gear, and you can see just off in the far distance you can see Birdie. He's jogging. He's trying to run after someone or something. Birdie, you see not Gilbert Trask get to the house, and he goes up to the front door and he kind of fumbles with the door for a moment, and then he's patting his pockets and he pulls out a key, puts it in the lock, turns it, and walks in, and you see him shut the door. He goes to close the door, but it doesn't close all the way. It kind of bangs shut and then begins to open again, and you can hear the stomping of foots as though he is running upstairs. You're close enough to be able to hear that.
I'm gonna sneak inside.
Give me
While
a
I'm
stealth
inside.
roll.
Hopefully we'll do a better job this time.
Oh,
Yes, we
yeah.
did.
Critical success. Excellent. All right. I'll let you tell me how you succeed at doing this. So you're going in the house. He's gone upstairs. Do you go upstairs as well?
I'm gonna listen at the staircase.
Okay. You don't even need to make a roll because you were so stealthy. You can hear this man saying, "Sir, sir, it is almost time. I need the pieces. Sir, where's the key?" And there's no answer.
All right, I'm gonna go head back out of the house and wait for Stuart and Wilbur.
The Model T pulls up first, and you see Joey DiVincenzo. He's got a brown paper wrapped bundle on the chair next to him. And he sees you, and he holds his finger up to the tip of his hat and kind of points at you, and then with his finger he gestures you to come over. He's not even going to get out of the car.
Yeah, I'll just kind of casually walk over.
Yeah, you got my $500? I got your mirror right here.
Yeah, I've got the 500. Unwrap the mirror. I want to see it first.
All right. No funny business. You don't want to know who you're messing with if you decide to mess with me. It ain't just me, it's the whole family.
This isn't like a alcohol exchange, man. This is just a mirror. Take it easy.
You're right. Give me a persuasion roll. Or fast talk. I'll let you choose which one. Persuasion or fast talk. Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
He says, yeah, you're right. Sorry. Just, it's been a long couple of days. You don't know how hard this guy is to find. And he unwraps
I know where he is, and I'll buy the mirror from you
Where
for
is he?
$20 plus the knowledge of where he is. I'll give you the knowledge of where he is. Buy the mirror for $20.
All right, but if he's not where you say he is,
Oh, he is.
all right, here. And he just hands you the package. It's partially torn open, and you can see there's a box, and there's Italian writing on the box. It says, to Gilbert Trask, and has his address, and it's from Melfi, and there's other fragile written on it, things like that.
Yeah.
You open it up, and there is indeed this convex mirror. It looks like a telescope mirror. It looks very old.
All right,
well
I give him a
polished.
20.
He takes the coin. All right, our business is nearly at an end. Where is this? Where's Mr. Trask?
He's upstairs in the bedroom. Go up the stairs in the house. The door is open.
He opens his door to the Model T, shuts it, and you see him reach into his pocket and pull out a set of brass knuckles. And he slides them on his hand, and he tips his hat to you and says, "Pleasure doing business with you." And he walks into the house. About this time, Charlotte, Stuart, and Wilbur arrive. They've tried to follow you. It's taken them some time, but they get there just as Joey goes into the house. And Charlotte, you have the gear in hand. This is the finale here, so what do you guys do?
Well, I will catch up Bertie up to speed on what I learned from the Eye of Amara Society about this time machine business.
That would seem incredible, but not. Well, Bertie doesn't know much about this nonsense, metaphysical nonsense. That would just seem incredible.
Now, Charlotte, you've got this gear. You know where the machine is, and you see the mirror here.
Well, if we have all the gear, I'll go down into the basement and put the machine together, I guess.
Now, there is a cellar door from the basement. You'd be able to unlock that cellar door and let the others in.
I will do that then,
All right.
yes.
You slide in there. As you get in there, you can hear kind of upstairs in the house, you can hear things being thrown around. You hear pounding, stomping of feet, shouting. You get that cellar door open, and the others can come in, and then they see this machine, this device, this chronolytic capacitor, as was described in that book. It will take a mechanical repair roll to put that gear in place. Maybe the engineer can do that, Wilbur?
Fingers crossed. It was a little rough earlier, but maybe got the bad roll out of the way.
Oh,
yeah,
just
see, there you
barely.
go.
Do you remind him to go slow so he doesn't pinch his finger?
Yes, I will.
Do you take that advice, or do you just amateur?
Yeah, no, I think Wilbur's has been quite happy to humor Charlotte this journey. I think he's quite impressed by her tenacity.
Yeah, she's kind of leaning in, watching as you place this gear, and you can see where the rod would be, and it's a strange kind of silvery metal, and you wonder if perhaps it isn't iridium that would go here, but this steel or this bronze is going to have to do because that's all you have. But you get it fitted into place, and as soon as you place it in there, you feel a faint vibration in this machine. And again, there are no batteries, there's no source of power, there's nothing here, but it's as though the machine recognizes that its clockwork innards are complete. There is a spot for the mirror. This will be a little more difficult roll to get this done. You will need a hard success on a mechanical repair roll. I think you're the best shot at this, Wilbur. If you have Charlotte help you, you'll get a bonus die.
Sounds like she was helping
Yeah,
out.
I'll help.
Now you do have coal dust all over you, so you're going to need to make a dexterity roll to make sure you don't get coal dust on this polished mirror. Ooh, wow. Yeah, you spit on your hand and kind of wash the coal dust off. Probably wipe your hand on the back of like Wilbur's jacket. And then you help him kind of position that mirror. All right, Wilbur, with a bonus die, mechanical repair. Oh, excellent.
I believe is
You
that a
missed
hard?
it by 1. So do you want to spend 1 luck point to make it a hard success?
I will do that.
Perfect. You get the mirror in place, and Stuart and Bertie are kind of watching intently as you place this. It's not an easy task. It's got to be balanced just right, because there's really nothing that's holding it in other than a few small clips. And if this is out of balance, there's a good chance this mirror could fall. And as soon as you get it put in there, You kind of stand up and you wipe the sweat from your forehead, and you notice that the sounds from upstairs have stopped. And the kitchen door opens that leads down into this cellar, and you see not Gilbert Trask standing there. His face is bloodied, and he looks at you and says, "Well, I see you've done my work for me. Just in time. I suppose you might as well help me bring him down. Come along," and he turns and heads into the kitchen to go upstairs. Do you follow?
Yeah, well, it sounds like our agendas are aligned. At least at this point, we're already involved.
Yeah.
I think Stuart would be inclined to follow.
You go upstairs and you see a scene of great violence. There are bits of broken furniture. There are smashed bits of porcelain. There is a large, looks like a mirror in a silver frame that is laying on the ground. It's not broken, but it's laying on the ground. And on the ground, face down in a pool of blood, you see Joey DiVincenzo. The blood looks to be not coming from him, but it's on his hands, on his shirt. It's probably this not Gilbert Trask's blood on the ground. You don't see any outward signs of wounds, but this man is just lying face down, motionless. Stuart, give me a first aid roll.
So, just so that I understand that description,
Mm-hmm.
the blood came from not Gilbert,
Yes.
not from
Joey. Yep.
not from Joey,
So-
but Joey's just lying face down.
Look, Joey's just face down. Stuart, you're not positive, but you don't think this man is breathing. You don't see any rising and falling of his chest. He's just completely motionless. In the bed, in this bedroom, lying in the bed, you see, Charlotte, you see Gilbert Trask. This is the man that you saw in the park. You would recognize that face as he asked you for help. Like, this is the guy. It matches the picture in the driver's license. The other man says, "I must ask your forgiveness for my little ruse. My name is Walter Monroe. I am a friend of Gilbert Trask. I have been sent here to help him with his present health conditions. Now, Charlotte, give me a spot hidden roll." On the bed, on the pillow, is some strange black snake or worm. It's black as night. It's got these white specks on it, and as you see it, two things happen. First of all, you realize that this isn't black with spots. This is like if you had cut a ribbon of space-time. Those white spots are galaxies, and you see them moving as this black ribbon of light, moves and writhes on the bed. Now, you have a fear in your backstory. What is your big fear of?
Of snakes crawling over me while I sleep.
Give me a sanity roll.
Oh,
Ooh. You're going to lose 2 points of sanity. And you're going to probably let out a little yelp, and you step back, and you will not get any closer to the bed. Mr. Monroe says, "This is why we need to fix the mirror. You see, it has already begun, the swap, the process. And the longer we delay using the device, the more these show up, and the larger these will become. But once we use the device, these will be no more. These are called time worms. They leak out from the fabric of space-time as we bring Mr. Trask back to his present body. Come, we must carry him downstairs. And he points at the 3 men. Will you carry him downstairs? Do not worry about the man on the floor. He is not going anywhere.
Well, the way you laid him out, I would think you'd be able to carry Mr. Trask by yourself.
Well, there is more than meets the eye to me, you see. I do not...
Yeah, I get that.
Will you not help me take him down?
Of course. Wilbur's happy to help.
And Mr. Monroe will help as well. He'll kind of take an arm and a shoulder, and Gilbert begins to move, and you see his eyes open, and they're out of focus. His pupils are dilated, but he looks at Charlotte and says, "The key. Did you give him the key?"
I guess if I have the key, I'll pull it out.
And you see him relax a little bit, and he says, "Monroe, assemble the device." Now, Charlotte knows it's already been assembled. What would you say?
I'll say we already assembled it. Everything is finished.
How did you know?
Well, with my investigation skills, we solved your mystery, and we put the device together.
I just want to be back to my old self. I've not been myself since this morning. Come, let us do this quickly. It hurts. It hurts. And Walt Monroe and the rest carry him down into the cellar. Walt puts him down on the ground next to that chronolytic capacitor. And he begins to speak. He says, "I am able to command this device. It is a pity that we could not have spoken more about this, but as such, we will see that we do what we can." And he begins to activate the device through an ancient Hyperborean invocation. He makes strange sounds that most humans are able to make. He says, "Komos atalach clanach mithrog. Komos atalach clanach mithrog. Komos atalach clanach mithrog." And after speaking it 3 times, a gear on the machine glows slightly and begins to turn. As the phrase is continued, the gear picks up speed until it is spinning very fast. A high-pitched hum comes off of the strange metal rods, and another sound comes out of it too. A low sort of pulse. It may be a heartbeat. You're not certain. And then you realize that heartbeat is not from a human being. At this point, the capacitor is reknitting a rift in space-time, and that black worm up on his pillow begins to dissolve. After a few moments, Mr. Monroe helps Walt sit up, and he holds his head, and he looks around at all of you. "What happened? Where's the truck?" And Walt heads upstairs. "I'll get him some water," he says. Gilbert looks at the 4 of you. "What happened to the truck? There was a crash. Oh, my head is just pounding." "Oh, there's going to be hell to pay."
I think you've lost a little bit of time, sir.
"Oh, how could this be?" And you hear Walt Monroe come down from upstairs. He does not have a glass of water in his hands. He's instead holding that strange mirror in the silver frame. And he says, "Gentlemen, lady, please look right here. And let me have all four of you give me a power roll. P-O-W, pow. Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh. Stuart, do you want to push that? Oh, spend luck. There we go. Wilbur, Stuart, and Bertie, there is a blinding flash of light. And when you recover your senses, you are sitting in the park. It's now about 8:30 at night. This is the same park where you started the day in, but you have no recollection of the day. Whatever happened today, you remember getting up in the morning, you went to Madge's house, and now you're out here in the park, and it's cold and night is falling. You don't know what may have happened. Charlotte, when you wake up, you find yourself in some strange place where everyone you see is this strange cone-shaped creature, some strange alien with tentacles sprouting off of their head like a sea anemone, with eye stalks and strange appendages. And they're milling about, and they make strange, echoey, burbly, screeching sounds. And as you hear these sounds, you realize that these sounds are words. You hear the purring of a cat and other sounds. And some of them sound like Old English, and some sound like ancient dialects forgotten to time. But for those of you that remain in 1925, which is not Charlotte, that strange girl, Charlotte Foley, she's suddenly excelling in all of her classes. She skips 2 grades over the next year. She's a voracious reader at the Miskatonic Library. She no longer has a mind for mysteries, but for mathematics. And then one day, Walt Monroe shows up at Charlotte's house and says, "It's time." And that's where we end.
wow.
Wow.
That was perfect.
So, fantastic. So, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the HP Lovecraft story, The Shadow Out of Time. If you're not, that's now your homework. You get to go read that. It's about the great race of Yith. They were around millions of years ago, and what they do is they basically hijack people's bodies, put their consciousness into that body to go and learn things, and they send you back to where they are to basically sit around doing nothing until they're done with what they want, and then they put you back in your body, and you don't remember any of it, but your whole life is now thrown into flux. And that's what had happened here. Now, there are rewards, not for Charlotte.
Oh.
Charlotte was taken by the great race of Yith, but for everyone else, you would gain, let's see, if you facilitate the successful return of Gilbert Trask's mind to his body, you earn 1d8 sanity. If you prevent Joey DiVincenzo from smashing out Trask's teeth and breaking his kneecap, well, he didn't technically get his teeth smashed out or his kneecap broken. You should earn 1d4. If Gilbert Trask dies, you lose 1 point of sanity, which you didn't, so you would gain 1d4 plus 1d8 points of sanity. Charlotte, you gain the knowledge that your body has been hijacked by the great race of Yith. And soon, Walt Monroe, the timekeeper, will come for you as well. Excellent. Well, I had a blast with this. I love investigative mysteries like this where you have to just kind of take all the little pieces and try and piece it together. And you guys made awesome conclusions based on the information that was presented. So I think that was absolutely fantastic. Any dying questions about the mystery, about, what did we miss, what clue, what did that mean, anything that's going to keep you from sleeping tonight?
No, I thought you did pretty good. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Well, I had a great time. I hope to game with you guys again soon. I've got games tomorrow. I think Henrik is in that one, and on Sunday, I think Henrik's in that one. I run games most Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays for the time being. And I don't have another Call of Cthulhu coming up anytime soon, but I think, Fred, you're in a Mothership game coming up here in a couple of weeks. So that will be
I am.
fun to play with you in there. I think that's the Atlas Bearing the Heavens, which is a fantastic game.